Today's practice I'm calling finding ground. So what does it mean to find ground in our bodies and in our practice? And how can we use this process of finding ground to bring ourselves back to a sense of center? So due to sometimes the circumstances of our upbringing or life circumstances in this present moment that feel as though pulls the ground out from under us, we can feel a kind of instability in the body, can feel a sense of our energy being quite high up due to perhaps worry and anxious thoughts and in uncertainty. So today's practice is really geared towards those who need to come back to a sense of grounding in their body, establishing a connection once again with your sense of home in your own body. So I'm going to start with a few words by one of my favorite poets and philosophers. If you know me, you've definitely heard me quote from David Whyte before. So this is called Ground. So you might just come to a comfortable seat, or you might be even lying down already, just finding a place for yourself to settle as we begin our practice today. To come to ground is to find a home in the circumstances and in the very physical body we inhabit. In the midst of those circumstances, and above all, to face the truth, no matter how difficult that truth might be. To come to ground is to begin the courageous conversation, to step into difficulty, and by taking that first step, begin the movement through all difficulties, to find the support and foundation that has been beneath our feet all along, a place to step onto, a place on which to stand, and a place from which to step. So we'll begin by coming onto your mat. You might even already be there. And then simply coming to lie down in a position that feels supportive for you, comfortable. You might even adjust your clothing or shuffle your hips a little bit from one side to the other, relax your shoulders. Feel free to walk your feet a little further out or closer in, just see what feels nice. Hands could be on your body or gently by your sides. And then we're going to begin a little breath work practice. So this is creating an equal in-breath, out-breath, and hold, which is called samavritti in our yoga. So we'll begin with the count of 4, and you could choose to close your eyes here. So breathing in, 3, 2, 1, hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, breathe out. 3, 2, 1, and hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, 3. One more round. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Just here now, sensing into the very real physical support from the ground beneath you, and the sense that your body can just yield into that support. So feeling almost as if the ground sort of rises up to meet you. Feel the points of your body that are in contact with the earth, the soles of your feet, perhaps the hips, back of the hips, the shoulders, the back of your head. And aware as well here of the parts of your body that are kind of suspended. Back of the neck, lower back, backs of the legs. Begin a little bit of gentle movement, so begin to bring your knees in towards you and then hold around the fronts of the shins. You're going to push the knees forward into the hands and then resist that movement with your hands. So you feel that little dynamic muscle action around the arms, the legs. Notice which muscles are switching on here. And then gently release. We'll change the position of the hands so that they come to the fronts of the thighs. And then imagine you're trying to bring your knees in towards you as you push the thighs away. So again, notice which muscles are switching on here, possibly around your lower tummy. What do you notice? And then gently release. We'll take the hands just behind the thighs. And then we'll slowly start to extend the legs in the direction of straight. You could flex the toes towards you a little bit more. Reach up through the heel. Just keep a little bend in the knees if that feels like enough. Relax through your shoulders a little bit more if you can. Bringing a sense of that breath moving down into your lower belly. And then we'll gently bend the knees once again. And then from here, changing the position of the hands so they come to the front of the knee once again. And we're going to start little circles around with the knees, as if you're tracing a circle onto the ceiling. So there's a kind of massaging out across the back of your hips. Notice how that feels. Maybe there's little places that feel a little bit more tender. See what you can connect with here. What do you notice? Okay, and then you could simply rock yourself to the side and sit up, or you might take a rock to come up through to seated. And then we'll sweep the legs out to the side, so we're in this little bit of a, almost like a little mermaid sort of seat. Taking your right hand to the ground as you reach up and take a side stretch into the side body. Come to the other side, lifting, opening out through the side waist, a little bit of firming through the opposite side waist. Coming back through, and we'll just swap it out so you can shift over and sink to the side. You can also use like a cushion under your hip if it feels like too much. So left fingertips out to the side first as we take that side stretch here. Feel free to turn your head down or look up, see what feels interesting or nice in your body. We'll come to the other side, opening up through the side, a little firming through the opposite side waist. Notice your breath here. And then gently coming back through to center. If it feels okay, you could come to sit onto your shins for a moment. You could either take your feet wide and sit onto the ground or keep your knees together, see what feels good. We'll take the hands and interlace the fingers and then turn the palms to face forward, so you get a little stretch, perhaps through the palm of your hand. As you push the hands forward, you might notice a little bit of stretching across the space between your shoulder blades. And then we can lift the arms up as we find a little bit more length through the sides of the body evenly. You can take a little side stretch here, see what that feels like. Notice how it feels in your body. And come back through center as we go to the opposite side. Invite the breath to move into the spaces that maybe feel a little bit tender today. As if your breath was this kind of nourishing energy that just delivers that little bit of attention to the spots that are calling out for our attention. Come back through center, and you could release the hands. Take a moment here in this position. You could also be in cross-legged or even sitting onto a chair. And just feel the sense of the ground once again here. So the parts of you that meet the earth that are supported by it. Maybe there's a little bit of a lift through the center of your heart, through your chest. Maybe the eyes are closed. So you tune into that support that is offered to you by the ground. We're going to blink the eyes open now as we come around into a kind of tabletop shape. So this is a really nice stable shape, so you can feel the kind of stabilization through the hands and through the knees as you feel the support from the earth beneath you. You might experiment a little bit with kind of pushing your finger pads into the ground, almost like a little bit of gripping through them. They push down, maybe the knuckles of the hands push down as well here, as well as the heel of the hand. Okay, we're going to take a couple little rounds of coming back and forth into our cat-cow shape. So the tailbone lifts, belly softens, chest rolls forward, and then you'll round through the back body. And you could choose to go slower or faster. See what feels kind of interesting for you today. How does your body want to move? What does it need? And maybe you begin to connect your breath and your movement. Maybe it's an exhale to round, and an inhale to draw the chest forward and lift the tailbone. Next time you come back after your exhale, come back through to a neutral place. We'll extend back through that right leg here to begin with. You might find a little bit of pulsing could feel kind of interesting through this back leg, so sort of pushing the heel back, feeling that sort of resistance that the ground offers you here to kind of push into and find that little bit of opening through the back of the leg. Okay, so we'll float that foot off the earth now. There's this little bit of toning through the tummy, so we can draw in towards our own center to find that sense of strength and stability. Maybe you extend forward through that left arm so it's a little balance. Feel connected here through that grounded hand and the grounded knee supporting you, holding you. You might feel a little wobble, a little shake. It's totally normal. And then stay, or as you exhale, bring everything in towards middle. Breathe in, reach long. And exhale, draw in. Breathe in, reach long. Exhale, draw in. Reach forward. And then placing the right hand, left hand to the earth. We're going to step that right foot out to the outer edge of the left side of the mat. And you could look back towards that foot. You might even find it interesting to sort of lean into the right side waist. So you get a little opening through that side body. On an in-breath, bring that right foot back through to center perhaps. And you might feel like just giving yourself a little wiggle here, a little release. And then we'll repeat that on the other side. Extending back through the left leg. Again, maybe feeling into that kind of traction that the ground offers you here, that you can reach back through the heel, open up through the sole of the foot. Our feet are the first point of connection quite often between ourselves and the ground. We use to meet the ground for a lot of our time. And then floating that foot off the earth. And then see if you can maybe find that stability, hugging in towards your center as you reach forward through that right hand. And then we'll draw in, reach long, draw in, reaching long, and draw in. Place the right hand to the ground. You could step the left foot off to the side. Maybe again, reaching back through the center of that heel. You could look back. You could lean a little bit into your sideways, left sideways this time. And then gently coming back through to center. We'll sink back, so hips towards heels. Maybe the knees go wider, you keep them a little bit narrow. You could either make a little pillow here with your hands, resting the forehead down, or extend the arms forward and rest the head to the earth. Child's pose, balasana. Feel that support of the ground beneath you, under your hands, your shins, that steady, supportive foundation. Okay. We'll come back through to a tabletop shape. And we're going to head back into a downward dog now. So you might tuck the toes under as you push back into a downward facing dog. Feel free to find a little bit of movement here, maybe lifting and lowering one heel and then the other. Finding a little bit of space and length through the backs of the legs. And then we're going to walk the hands, so feel each sort of pad of the hand land to the earth as you come back. You may need to come up a little bit sooner, that's okay. You could lift halfway, crown of the head reaches forward, sitting bones extend back. And then bend the knees and walk yourself back, out and through to that down dog shape. And then we'll walk the feet forward. So again, it's feeling each footstep as it arrives, as it lands onto the earth. Those little pads of the to the base of the toes, the balls of the feet, and the heels. Maybe it's a little breath in to lift and fold down once again. We'll walk the feet back, taking your time to get there, almost like a little walking meditation towards the back end of your mat. And then once again, we'll walk the hands all the way back through to the feet. This time, allow yourself to be heavy. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. And then we're going to take a little sort of side to side movement. Allow your hands, either if they're slightly off the ground, or maybe you're taking in textures of the earth, the mat, the floor. That sense of the earth beneath you. Can you then push into your feet so you feel, as you push down, you can use that resistance, maybe even pushing the feet outwards to stretch the mat slightly apart to rise you all the way up through to standing. Once here, you could take a little bit of movement, just allowing yourself to arrive. Maybe the shoulders roll out a bit. Just conscious of my mic, sorry, I have to keep an eye on it. And then we'll breathe in to reach up, lengthening upwards through the arms, feeling again that sense of length through the side body. As you reach up, can you have this awareness of your feet here as well? They're kind of grounding you into the earth. You could even push down through the feet to feel how that gives you a little bit of lift, ability to rise higher. So from our strong foundation, we have the space to expand upwards, outwards, and in whichever direction you'd like to grow in. Okay, we'll take the palms to touch, just to meet in front of your chest here. From here, can you push the palms gently into one another as you lift your elbows? Feel the crown of the head lift. As you push the hands in towards center, can you feel how that creates a little bit of stability across the shoulders, the arms? Or what do you notice? Maybe becoming aware of the kind of outer edges of your body here. And then we'll gently release the arms and sweep them forward. Imagine there's that imaginary chair behind you as you sit back and reach the arms forward. A little bit of weight shifts back towards your heels. You might even imagine a little bit of engagement as you hug the inner thighs towards one another. Everything kind of hugging in strong through your center. Our chair, but little challenge here. Right, so see what happens when we lift maybe one heel off the ground. So we've slightly changed our sense of our foundation, but we know the ground is there still. We'll do the same on the other side. So lifting the right heel up and then gently lower down. Maybe the left foot completely lifts off the ground. Now there's a lot of strength that is required to hold yourself here, holding midline. And then gently release down. We'll do the same on the other side, shifting over. Right leg lifts. And then gently lower down. Maybe both heels lift at the same time. Just playing around with a little bit of our stability, our sense of where the ground is, and building that strength through the lower portion of our body. And then reach the arms by your side as you come up through to standing. Relax across your shoulders. Allow yourself to arrive here. Sometimes I just feel like I need to take an exhale after some of those challenging positions. You might like to as well. We'll reach the arms all the way up and then fold forward once again as you make your way out into a downward facing dog shape. Walking the feet all the way forward once again to the top of your mat. Nice and slow and controlled. We'll take a breath in to lift and reach for the crown of the head and then fold forward. From here, step the left foot back in space. We'll lower that left knee to the earth. Can you feel as though you are pulling this front heel towards you as the back knee, almost like it's sliding through the mat to draw in towards center? So again, we have this idea of drawing strength from the ground up, around our pelvis, creating that stability. And then from that point of stability, we can play a little bit. So reaching the arms up, opening out, and then catching hold of opposite elbow with opposite hand. Now this is optional here, okay? So if you feel that sense of stability through your lower portion of the body, can you then begin to side bend over to the left? And then maybe down through center, over to the opposite side, and around and up. Do that 2 more times, maybe you've had enough. Maybe you're already lying down, that's totally fine. Coming back up. Last one. And then we'll gently release the hands all the way to the earth. Back toes might tuck under as you hop or step to the top of the mat. Okay, breathe in, halfway lift, and then fold. We'll step the right foot back, lower the back knee to the earth. Again, pull everything in towards center as you come up. Find that stability, that engagement around the pelvis. Gives you strength, yeah? Back toes can be tucked or untucked, I don't really mind. See what gives you more stability here. Reach up through the arms, so we're lifting, expanding out from our foundation. And then catch hold of opposite elbow with opposite hand. Stay here or lower to the right, forward, down, and around. Gently release, taking the hands to the earth, back toes tuck under, step or hop that foot all the way forward. Again, you might take a breath in to halfway lift, and then exhale to fold. Okay, we're going to walk the feet all the way back through into your downward facing dog shape, and then lower the knees to the earth. You might adjust your hands, we're going to bend the elbows, lower the chest, the chin, and then slide forward onto your belly. Bring the hands out in front. So again, just feeling into this kind of new sense of connecting to the earth. Now the front body down. And you could pull the ground towards you a little bit through the arms, so feel how the ground assists you here. Maybe pushing your hips forward and down as you draw your chest forward and through the space between the arms. So it's kind of Sphinx pose. This is a even back bend. Feeling that stability through the legs, the grounding us, the arms, holding us up here. And then gently we'll release all the way down, push into the earth, and press back through to a child's pose here. Again, make a little pillow with your hands, rest the forehead down. And then we'll slowly walk the hands in so that we come to seated here. You can just sit over onto one hip as we sweep the legs out in front. And then walk the feet out as wide as your mat as we take a couple of rocks from side to side. A little bit like a little massage across the back of the hips. And then bring the feet together. We're going to come slowly to lie onto the back, so you could reach your arms forward, you could hold onto your knees as you go back, see what feels nice today. We'll slow release, so there's a little bit of building strength through center as you rest all the way to the ground. So we're setting up for our final bit of resting shape here. So again, this sense of complete contact with the earth. Complete resting the body down. You could use your cushions here as well under your knees. I find that quite nice for the back. Just release a little bit of tension there. So anything you need to do to feel really supported. You might close your eyes. Consciously inviting every part of your body to just release into that support of the ground, of the earth, allowing any tension in your muscles to melt into the earth, any holding around your heart, around your thoughts, gently melt into the earth. The earth is transformative. The soil brings about new life, transformation. So trusting that the ground can hold you and that you can relinquish any of that old either thought patterns or whatever no longer serves you to be composted into the earth, into the ground. Welcome to stay here for as long as you wish. Otherwise, I'm going to gently say thank you and goodbye. Gratitude towards yourself, to your body, to your heart that guides you.